Hello guys and welcome to another lap time challenge video, and in this one we got this Dragon Trail Seaside in Group 3. And what can I even say? We got the Chicane all over again. And of course Group 3, this does not specify which car you need to take, so I guess whatever car suits your driving style, it can work. But I would also like to have a look at the replays of the fastest guys in the world, as well as the time that is required for the gold. So now it currently stands at a 39.5, which I think is going to be relatively easy to get to. So we have to look at the global rankings just to see who is the fastest guy out there, and it's already at 36.6 from Kaj. And also up the top 10 we got a 37.4, so that's quite a huge spread in between the first and the P10. So I can have a look at what the other cars are. So we got the GTR, we got the Huracan, we got the V12 Vantage, even one FT1. I never thought this was going to be the car to go with here. And we got also the BRZ, Huracan as I said before, but I will use a GR Supra for this one. I think it's just the best car, and yeah, that's pretty much about it. So let's jump into the replay and let's see what Kaj did. So this is the normal layout, it's not reverse. And the wind is 0.0 meters, so there is no wind. We are running equal conditions mode. I can already tell which braking points is he using. So third on the way out, it kind of slides in that third gear, so you have to be careful, I guess. Fourth gear quite early, upshifting into fifth here, over the curb, I guess. Yes, it is. Then braking on the left hand side is where usually, I think it's the grass that he's trying to find. So third gear on the way out, trying to cut it in. And this is going to be like a very subtle braking point, so not a lot of braking coming in. And yeah, around 50%, I think 50% is optimum. Is he going to cut this part? Yes, he is. This is the trickiest part, I would say. You need to get to both of these insides of the curbs. And as we are going through 125, around 130, 140, because if these were kind of conditions for soft tires, or we were using soft tires, I think it would be a little bit better, but here you have to brake at about 140. So fifth gear, and yeah, once again, that chicane, let's see how he handles it. Ooh, a lift, okay. So he's actually lifting through that chicane. Not exactly what I thought was going to happen, but I think once someone will do it flat out, it's going to be like super amazing. So now before the 100th, and third gear on the way out. Oh. Okay, I think he has a lot more in the lap, and there is definitely something that we can improve here. So what did I say? At 36.6, so let's try to see what I can do. And then when I started doing this one, I realized that this car is really understeering, especially on hard tires, and I had a real difficulty finding the right spot and eventually getting out of some turns. And as you can probably see, I had definitely difficulties with the dead chicane. As usual, it's really easy to hit it, but on the other hand, I also had a tough time making it out of turn 1, which once again on hard tires is really slippery. And then later I figured out how to do all of those things. I think it was even lap 3 or 4 it was good enough to get me, let's say, in the top 50, top 100, but then eventually I did a 36 point now. So this is the first braking point. I usually try to avoid the curb on the entry because it can kind of unsettle the car, so you can use it, but really be careful if the car kind of slides away from you or just lose control a little bit, especially because it's pushing you out of this situation. So you have to have the car under control, so the car has to be stable and the car has to be straightened up if you want to have the perfect amount of acceleration out of that one. So something like that. Even in here you can probably see that I'm using the grass on the left as a reference, so this is a pretty decent reference, but make sure that you straighten up the car. So basically you need to go down in first gear as you turn the car, because the car just will get a little bit more rotation if you do so, and on the way out in third gear, because it will give you more traction. If you do it in second, you will probably spin out. If you take the same lines, you will probably spin out. And this wasn't perfect. I think I lost maybe a 10 to 10.5 in this section alone. So here, this is the one where you will get all of that speed. So 50% on the brakes and just touching the inside of this curb. I think you can go a little bit wider than that, but you need to touch the curb. And also at this point, you can cut the chicane, or you can just cut this portion of it, or you can just take the inside of these curbs. So you need to touch the curb either way. So you can of course risk it more and just abuse the curbs if you really need to, but in general I really like taking the inside of the curbs. It's a little bit more stable and it will give you more confidence. And now into the heavy braking zone, I would say right about 140, 135, this is where you brake. You can use a little bit of that curb, turn in when the 50-meter sign starts, and then eventually straighten up the car in second gear. Kind of, I would say, early upshifting into third, but I think it's safe to say you can accelerate in second fully. And here, one of the most difficult corners in the whole game, and you can probably see that I'm turning in and only then lifting, and I'm climbing onto the curb on the right, and only this will give you enough space so you can eventually go through the chicane flat out. So I could say that you need to tap the curb, of course, and then it's all about, most of it's luck, to be honest. And now into the last corner of the track, and this is where I brake at about 110, 115, not exactly in 100, an early entry. So you will not get the benefit of a late entry, so you can only lose a bit of time on the entry. But now I'm just turning in, pushing it out in third gear, and I want to straighten up the car as much as possible and really use the whole track. This is really something that can definitely help with the lap time, and this was at 36.9. Okay, let's see. In the end, I think a 36.9 is a pretty good result. So let's see where this can put me on the leaderboards, or where this put me on the leaderboards. And as you can see, I did only 88 kilometers, so I haven't even touched 100. So yeah, I think it's a pretty decent result in not such a long time. Okay, let's see. Looking at the leaderboards, and I'm actually standing in P4 right now, so this is P4 in the world. Not that far off the lead, although I did some little mistakes here and there, especially in the middle section. I could have cut it a lot more, but in the end I think this is a pretty decent one, and it will definitely be a gold medal. As you can see, 0.34% from the gold, you need 30%, so in general like a 39 or something, it will be more than enough. So guys, I really hope that you enjoyed in this one, and if you did, you can always hit the like button, or you might even want to subscribe to the channel. So until the next time, bye.